Hey guys, I'm sitting here watching the football game and the advertising. It's recording UTSA at South Florida. I know that also this game gets a little too less competitive. I'll switch it to Georgia Southern and App State. Old Boone. Boone's pretty. Ever been to Boone, North Carolina? I ain't been. I've been through Asheville and down. I didn't get all the way to Chillouie or where Western Carolina's at. I turned upwards and went up into Tennessee to go get my wife and my child from Tulsa. But that part of the state is real pretty. It's gorgeous. The and that part of Tennessee is too. Those mountains are beautiful. Me and Steffi went through, and I don't know if I have Cherokee in me, but when I went through there, it sure felt like it. And Steffi does, and she just, it's funny. Went through Asheville. You just drive. Don't you look at anything. She got real scared. Amy did the same thing with her dad and Jerome, and when you're driving on mountain pass things and stuff. I understand it's kind of nerve wracking and creepy and scary. And as I get older, it's more, I'm even more cautious than when I was younger. But when I drive around Crowdcroft, they don't have like in Asheville, when you're showing everybody and looking at stuff, they have these big concrete things on the freeway, and so even if you lost control a little bit of the car, you just bounce off the concrete and get okay, and so you're a little less like, oh shit, you can just drive right off the, then oh shit, if you don't watch what you're doing, you can, when you're driving up to Cloudcroft, so I'm always a lot more cautious, and you get some people that aren't, and they get behind you, and it's like, okay, I'm in no hurry to die, so it's just not something I just, feel like flirting with or playing with, I've never been that type of person. I appreciate and value life very much. And so I've never been a skydiver type person. No, not at all. Not once, If I have to do something, I will do it. And they notice that in school too, like with just dissections. And I remember Peggy explaining that to me. She goes, no, the whole reason we passed half those classes is because of you, Earl. You did all the work for everybody. You explained everything to everybody. And then they passed the test. So half the barrio and half the projects in Mayfield and Cruces back in, that you passed their classes because of you. It's like, I didn't really think about that. Well, the way, because, teachers were good, but the way I explain things, it's real easy for people to understand. I guess my terminology and my linguistics is more in the vernacular. Okay. And so it's like, wow, the way the guy breaks it down is just real easy to understand. That's why I wanted to teach and coach, especially with the way I is, because he was what about, bippity boppity boo, right? And so, and the way I break things down is total common sense, love, character, courage, kindness. They ain't here to try to hurt nobody. Don't hurt nobody, especially you. Okay, so keep your head up. Keep your body in front of people. Don't over pursue. Don't attack with your head down. Don't do the, just, keep people in front of you. And especially if you're better than the other team, you don't need to bring pain. You don't need to be, you can just literally, go over here. Okay, sit down. It's nice talking to you. Talk after the game. Love to meet your mom and your sister. Don't hurt nobody. Ain't nobody gonna hurt you, right? I'm that way. It's not being condescending or abusive. It's just making sure that nobody tries to turn into a marauding, angry, pissed off rapist because they can't win the game. Oh, okay, I'm fucking gorgeous. It's hard recovering from being abused by people that are not gorgeous, and I have to keep reminding people that's the most embarrassing thing, especially here in this town with all these heroes and shit. Is that I have to constantly remind them, you do fucking know what the fuck is up. The everyday people, the two guys with it's a pleasure to meet you, with the mota, and they were great. Usually when I meet people that understand it's hard and it can get crazy out here and all that, but the ones that think they're in control of everything, hey, I keep you safe. You keep me safe. If you stood up for the Lord's Prayer, how much would you need to keep me safe with your bullshit and your bureaucracy and your technology? All right, fuck off. Thank you. Have a nice day. Right? I want my childhood back. I saw that commercial and stuff. It's like, it's not social media that steals your childhood. Okay? It's philanthropy. It's financial competition. It's survival of the fucking fittest. Okay, that's happening at school whether you know it or not. That's happening in college whether you know it or not. Social media is just a symptom of the disease. So you're going to blame the symptoms for the disease? Okay? Don't attack them and say, I don't want them making money off my time anymore. Help them understand that money's not real so they get their time back just like you. Okay? Don't hate Mark Zuckerberg. Love Mark Zuckerberg. Okay? Do you understand? Don't hate TikTokers. Love TikTokers. So we have less astronauts and influencers and more privacy and more, Sometimes, what is it again? How's it go, Johnny? Sometimes we walk hand in hand by the sea and we breathe in the cool, salty air. I turn to you, you turn to me with a kiss in your eyes, and my heart feels a thrill beyond compare. And I said, me and Bono were talking about love songs, And not that Bono at the Walmart at the optical. Okay, that Bono. Okay, that good voice, right? And he was talking, I was listening to that today. I said, that's the song that Bernie wrote for Elton. It's one of the most beautiful love songs ever written, Yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. He goes, it's gorgeous. So I said, it's a gorgeous love song. Most people don't see it that way because it's Elton saw Bernie for who he was and loved him for the first time that, he didn't want to have children because he didn't want to bring children to this world because it was so horrible. And he met somebody else just like him. And their love for each other sustained each other. That's basically what the song's about, He's right, it is beautiful. It's gorgeous. And he writes love songs about women that are prettier than sex songs that guys sing about women. One of my favorite, I told him, I said, I really love Love Won't Let Me Wait by Major Harris, but I know that's a sex song and it's not a love song, okay? But Harmony and Candle in the Wind are love songs for a woman, right? And Bono's like, you're right, those are beautiful. I can't wait. I want to listen to him right now. It's like, he's such a sweet kid. Okay. If you don't like him, there's something wrong with you. Okay. Every time I go by, he's smiling, he's nice. We talk, he's just, I love him. Okay. I just completely adore him. He's so fun. He's such a nice person. He's such a considerate, empathetic, caring person. And you know what people like that are? Courageous. I used to play sports, It's not courageous to go out there and beat the shit out of each other so you can get money to fuck somebody you need a big bag of money to fuck me. Yes, I'm going to say it. I'm not hurting Megan Thee Stallion's feelings. She's not a stallion. She's a mare, and her name is Javon Ruth Pete and not Megan. Okay, that's a stage name. Like Ingerbart Humperdinck, right? Okay, do you understand? Why I love little Javon? Because she's so cute. And times are hard, and people can be mean. And they talk to Jesus and they ask Jesus question, Jesus, why are they so mean? Jesus, these people are stupid. I totally agree, little Mrs. Jovan. Well, it's okay. It's going to get better, baby. Things can only get better. Don't listen to Feynman. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. That doesn't apply in physics. Yes, it does. You're denied the Lord's Prayer. You're living the Lord's Prayer. Things can only get better, right? People are bombing each other with nuclear weapons. People stop bombing people with you. Things can only get better, okay? People are unfaithful and fight over money. People are now faithful and do not believe money is something to fight over. Things can only get better. Feynman was wrong, okay? His understanding of physics was limited to his finite perception of his existence through physical interaction. We're born to die. Yes. But if you're not living the Lord's Prayer, it sucks. When you start living the Lord's Prayer, things only get better. And it doesn't suck when you die. Go read the book of Malachi. Okay, dears. Hello, McBurger, McFly. Feynman was wrong. Because Feynman's not the Messiah. Because Feynman's not like Haile Selassie and Muhammad. Do you understand? He's not like Judah Krishnamurti and D.T. Suzuki. Do you understand? Okay. Life is eternal and grace is infinite. When you have faith in the understanding of truth, things can only get better. When you're denied faith in the understanding of the truth, then Feynman's physics apply. Okay. And I like Feynman because he's challenging things that people turn into mythology and they can't answer the question. They're wrong. They're making shit up. Right? And Feynman says, no, you're wrong. Pow. Okay. But he's not looking at it properly. Same thing with Einstein and that one guy, the sun is naturally baking the earth. That's not true. You're not taking into effect John and the hidden bummer factor. Go Missouri. But well, Johnny's from Mizzou, right? And he would always sit there and people would ask him that. And I said, well, it should only take me about an hour to 30 minutes to fix it. But that's not taking into account the hidden bumper factor. What's in bumper factor? That there's a part in there that needs to replace it. It has to come from a factory in Colorado and they don't have it in stock. Oh, do you understand? Okay. So theoretically, I'm hoping for the best. But I don't ever want to say for sure what you're going to get because I don't. There's always the hidden bummer factor. That's what he used to call it. And he goes, and I hate it more than you do. Okay. But in the meantime, what we would do, me and John would do this, was in order to make up for the hidden bummer factor, he's from Missouri. Okay. My mom was born in Missouri. My dad's people from Tennessee. Is we do the Jeff Foxworthy thing. Jerry rigging is what they call it. Jerry rigging. Okay. We get duct tape and other things like that, and we jerry rig it. We put in a tube, like I used to do when I came into service, everybody's air conditioners. And I had a long tube and this. And I blasted out all the mold and the mold stuff that would get in the tray because it was cold. And I would clean it out and I'd shovel it out and I'd blow through it. Not breathe in, blow out. And service everybody's cooling trays off of a cooled water system for Phoenix in that old system. It worked, but it was, there's better ways to do it. But at that time, that was the top of the line thing, and they did it for that building. And then, of course, it all changed. But we still had to maintain it because of the expenses in replacing it, yada, yada, yada. And it was archaic and was hardly used anymore. And so, because of tax write-offs, but money ain't real. Yes, it is. No, it's not fucking real. Okay? You can say you fall in love with that plastic unicorn and you can say you love it and it loves you. But you're in love with it just as much as that pigeon is in love with Tesla. Okay? It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Earl, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Right. It's every time I go to Walmart, just about when I'm leaving, okay? And I'm talking to Javier, okay? And I get Lopez in my head, because she's done that to me numerous times. And I believe it. I believe in my prayer. I don't know how it works. I just know past, present, future operate at the same time, and life is eternal and grace is infinite. And Jennifer's like, I wish I could, I wish I could be like you. I wish I could do like you get to do. I'm like, baby girl, just watch me do my thing. Someday you will. And we won't even have to say it. It'll already be done. So he was leaving and his girl was dropping him off. And I said, isn't it horrible to have to go pay extortion, exploitation, and be away from the ones that love you and you really love? And he goes, yeah, it does suck. He goes, when we end extortion, exploitation, I like to work. I love to work. I love to do what I need to do to make sure that the apricots are picked and that the air conditioner's working well. And I like doing that stuff. But justifying my existence to people holding the world hostage so they can feel more influential and powerful than us is insane. What are we doing? We're trying to save the Walton family. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Because you want your tree sweetened or unsweetened. Okay? I'm so lonesome I could cry. BJ Thomas. If you haven't heard him sing it, go listen to it. It's a treat for the ear. Okay, guys, I love you. We'll talk later. Hang in there, Miss Wolf Clan leader. I really do like you. I think it's mostly because of Max and Emmy. We are going to meet. We're going to hang out and we're going to be friends. And if you don't show up with Max and Emmy, there's going to be hell to pay, woman. When I meet him, I can't always say, it's Max, Maximum. I know him. And then say, Emmy, it's okay. I'm not that grumpy.